Beneath the narcissist's glamorous, arrogant facade lies a hidden fear, a persistent, haunting shadow. Is it the fear of being exposed? Of having the truth behind their perfect mask revealed? Yes, but that's not all. Hidden deep within their distorted soul is a more terrifying fear, a nightmare even more dreadful than exposure. Silence. For the narcissist, silence is like an endless abyss that swallows everything. When the noise of the world fades, when the echoes of praise and admiration disappear, they are left alone in a terrifyingly still space. It is in this emptiness that they are forced to confront the darkest demon, themselves. Without false praise to lull them, without admiring eyes to mask their inner emptiness, they must face the insecurities, shame, and weaknesses they have long buried. Fear burns like a fire from within, consuming their already decaying soul. Silence brings no peace, but tortures them with invisible noises, nameless anxieties. It is like kryptonite to Superman, stripping away their power, dissolving their false shell, and exposing the weak, pathetic person within. What makes silence such a terrifying obsession for the narcissist? Join me as we delve into this dark secret in today's video. Number 1. Shattering their false sense of superiority. Behind the narcissist's facade of arrogance and conceit lies a constant craving for admiration and submission. They view others as pawns in their egotistical game, ready to be trampled upon and exploited to satisfy their insatiable hunger for power. Your silence, your refusal to be a puppet in their hands, is a sharp blade that shatters the illusion of grandeur they have meticulously constructed. To the narcissist, silence is an insult, a denial of their very existence. It's a slap in the face to their fragile self-esteem, triggering their rage. They will seek to punish, to retaliate with an even more terrifying silence, with subtle psychological blows aimed at depriving you of what you need. In family relationships, this becomes even more dangerous. Narcissistic parents, when faced with their children's silence, see it as a challenge to their ultimate authority, an act of rebellion that cannot be tolerated. Their fury can erupt violently, even leading to physical abuse, all to reassert absolute control. Silence not only wounds their false ego, but also cuts off the supply of emotional energy that the narcissist needs to survive. They crave attention, admiration, and control. Silence deprives them of all this, pushing them into a state of extreme confusion and insecurity. They cannot bear not knowing what you are thinking, feeling, or planning. Every thought and action of yours must be within their grasp. Do not underestimate the power of silence. Even a casual status update like "I am not alone" or "love is precious" can be exploited by the narcissist. They will scrutinize every detail, sniffing out your vulnerabilities to manipulate and pull you back into their toxic vortex. Narcissists rely on a sense of superiority to bolster their fragile egos. When you cease to fulfill their need for validation and attention, that facade of power begins to crack. But what truly wounds them is not the loss of status, but the inability to control your reactions. And when they realize that nothing they do can elicit a response from you, a feeling of powerlessness takes over. Number 2, they feel utterly powerless when they can't make you talk. Your silence to the narcissist is like an impenetrable fortress walling them off from your inner world. They cannot decipher your thoughts or emotions, and this drives them crazy. Narcissists crave control and manipulation, and your silence completely strips them of that ability. They feel insecure and anxious, like a wild animal trapped in a cage. In their distorted mind, your silence is a declaration of war, a rejection of the power they believe they inherently possess. It not only wounds their fragile ego, but also stirs up feelings of shame and inferiority that they keep deeply buried. They panic and fear because they cannot bear the feeling of powerlessness that comes with not being able to read or control you. Narcissists thrive on attention and the emotional reactions of others. They need praise, fear, and anger to feed their false self and validate their existence. Your silence cuts off this energy supply, leaving them feeling empty and desperate. The psychological pressure mounts, shame rises, and they feel pathetic and useless. Narcissists believe they have the exclusive right to wield the silent treatment. They use it as a tool to punish and control others. But when you fight back with silence, they cannot accept it. They will try everything to break it, from baseless accusations to using others to influence you. But as long as you stand firm, your silence becomes a powerful shield, protecting you from their malicious schemes. The powerlessness that narcissists face when you are silent is not a fleeting feeling. It's like an earthquake shaking the foundation of their carefully constructed fantasy world, making them feel like everything is falling apart. When they can't provoke a reaction from you, narcissists fall into a state of profound insecurity. They're unaccustomed to being denied attention, and this throws them into a spiral of psychological distress. But instead of giving up, that powerlessness ignites a different kind of obsession. Curiosity about your thoughts and motives. Your silence becomes a challenge they can't ignore, compelling them to scheme and manipulate in increasingly sophisticated ways to regain control. Number 3. Your silence triggers their curiosity and scheming. Narcissists are like vultures, constantly circling, searching for their prey's weaknesses. They scrutinize your emotions and behaviors to set manipulative traps. But when you fall silent, a veil of mystery shrouds you, leaving them disoriented. Without your long messages or sentimental emails to exploit, they become confused and bewildered, unsure whether to continue their attack or retreat. Is the prey dead, or is it lying in wait, ready to strike back? Your vulnerability is their weapon. Every lament, every expressed hope is collected and analyzed to fuel their elaborate schemes. They will breadcrumb you with empty promises and false sweet nothings just to lure you back into their manipulative vortex. But when you go silent, refusing to engage, they are thrown into a state of unease. Lengthy messages, venomous emails, even fabricated stories will pour out like a storm, aiming to provoke a reaction from you. Paranoia and fear take hold, convincing them that you are plotting revenge, just as they would do to others. Narcissists view the world through their own distorted lens. They assume everyone is as cunning and manipulative as they are, so exploiting others is a given. But when you are silent, refusing to play by their rules, the lack of information causes them extreme anxiety. They panic because they cannot predict your actions. Your unpredictability becomes their Achilles heel, weakening them. Narcissists love to control and manipulate, but they cannot stand being figured out. Your silence and distance make them lose control, shaking the foundation of the false empire they've built. Not only do they feel insecure, but they also have to confront the weakness and helplessness they've been hiding. Silence is not just defense. It's a powerful attack, striking directly at the narcissist's vulnerabilities and causing their distorted world to crumble. Narcissists can't tolerate silence because it undermines their sense of power. While they rack their brains for manipulative tactics, trying to break your composure, that very silence creates a space they cannot control. But when all their ploys fail, they gradually lose interest. The powerlessness to elicit a reaction from you begins to morph into another emotion, disgust, because you forced them to confront their greatest fear, their own insignificance. Number 4. Your silence makes them hate you. Narcissists carry within them an inner storm, a ceaselessly swirling chaos. Tranquility and peace are luxuries they cannot afford, as these states are diametrically opposed to their turbulent nature. To escape their own torment, they must fill their lives with relentless activity, with dramatic scenes of their own direction. When life becomes too peaceful, they stir up trouble from trivial matters. An offhand comment you made 6 months ago suddenly becomes a subject of interrogation, and reproach. Why did you say that? What did you mean? These relentless questions put you on the defensive, forcing you to rack your brains for explanations and justifications. A peaceful day instantly transforms into a battlefield filled with tension and exhaustion. The purpose of these arguments is not to find truth or resolve issues, but for the narcissist to unload their inner turmoil onto the outside world. They drain your energy, turning you into their emotional dumping ground. When you are exhausted, they feel relieved and at peace, even sleeping soundly. Ironically, while they slumber, you lie awake, suffering, trying to make sense of what just happened. They are like bloodthirsty vampires, ruthless predators who survive by draining the energy of others. Your silence blocks their path of manipulation and control, preventing them from accessing their vital energy source. They feel restless and uncomfortable, like a fish out of water, struggling in despair. When the narcissist's disgust becomes apparent, it's a sign they no longer view you as an easy target for manipulation. But interestingly, this negative reaction becomes the most potent reminder for you. Their disgust is not your failure, but an opportunity for deeper introspection, to examine the relationship and the invisible chains that have held you captive. Number 5. Silence, awakening you from the trance. For you, silence is a precious respite to listen to yourself, to allow your soul to rest and regenerate. But for the narcissist, it is a dark night that sows terror. They fear silence because it allows you to think, to see through the false mask they have meticulously crafted. They want to turn you into a mindless puppet, controlling your thoughts and actions. They stuff your head with distorted ideas and tyrannical commands, robbing you of your autonomy. Because they know that once you are free to explore yourself, the truth will be revealed, and that truth will shatter the illusions they have sown. Solitude existed a world separated from society and space existed only out in space. It was there where they sow discord, making you doubt yourself, wondering if they are truly as bad as you perceive them to be. Are you misunderstanding them? This confusion is their tool to maintain power and conceal their true nature. They don't want you to be alert. They don't want you to realize that you are being manipulated by a hypocrite. They want you to live forever in a state of walking on eggshells, anxious, fearful, and vulnerable. When your mind is filled with their words, you have no space to listen to yourself. They control you not only through actions, but also through energy and thoughts. They want to possess your entire being, turning you into a mental slave. But they also understand that once you find yourself, once you regain your autonomy, all their power will vanish like a soap bubble. You will realize they are nothing but liars and weaklings, hiding beneath a glamorous facade. Their accusations and blame are merely cheap tricks to manipulate and control. Your silence is not only your liberation, but also the shackles that bind the narcissist. It strips them of their power, forcing them to confront the harsh reality that they can no longer control you. And that is the worst nightmare they have to endure. As you emerge from the trance of the narcissist's manipulation, you gain a heightened awareness of yourself. Silence is no longer a passive response. It becomes a powerful tool for observation, reflection, and reshaping how you engage with the world. Within that silence, you reclaim your composure and gradually realize a crucial truth. Number 6. Silence. Reclaiming control of your life. Silence is not just the absence of words. It's a powerful declaration of your freedom and autonomy. When you choose silence in the face of a narcissist, you reclaim control of your life and establish firm emotional boundaries. You refuse to participate in their manipulative dramas and power games. This is not avoidance, but a courageous step towards escaping their toxic vortex and finding peace and self-governance for your soul. However, true silence is not forced quietude, but a stillness that emanates from inner peace. Narcissists, with their keen senses, can read your emotions through your eyes and gestures, even without you uttering a word. If your inner world is still turbulent, they will immediately sense it and seize the opportunity to attack, break your silence, and pull you back into the mire of manipulation. They will relentlessly test your endurance, provoking you with harsh words, foolish actions, and nonsensical stories. Every reaction from you, whether anger, anxiety, or hurt, is a victory for them, as it proves they still have influence over you. Only absolute silence and unwavering indifference can truly unsettle them. It's like an icy wall, reflecting all attacks without leaving a trace. Faced with this icy silence, the narcissist will panic in fear. What did I do wrong? Why are they ignoring me? Am I no longer important? A barrage of questions torments their mind. Your silence cuts off their supply of emotional energy, causing their false ego to crumble. They feel powerless and disoriented, like a ship lost at sea. To win this silent battle, you need not only external silence, but also cultivate inner peace. Master your emotions, nurture positive thoughts, and remain steadfast in the face of any storm. Focus on your personal goals, pursue your passions, and don't let anything shake your inner balance. This unwavering confidence is the ultimate weapon that will make the narcissist apprehensive and afraid. Silence is not just a way to protect yourself. It's also a way to assert your right to control your own life. It's a powerful tool to break the narcissist's cycle of control and manipulation, forcing them to confront the inner insecurity and weakness they constantly try to hide. Your silence deprives them of power and emotional supply, pushing them into a state of chaos. However, silence is not merely about stopping talking or reacting. It's a conscious act, a decision to reestablish peace and balance within your soul. To truly dismantle the narcissist's power, your silence must come from inner strength and self-confidence. Remember, every moment you choose silence, you are not only reclaiming control, but also moving closer to true freedom. The peace you build not only frees you from their grip, but also brings a new life. One where you are the center and no one can control you. With the right kind of silence, you not only break the narcissist's power, but also open the door to a future filled with freedom and peace.